What's up guys, Mega Man here with some Final Fantasy 16 news. In this video we're going to be talking about is it an open world, how the summons are in combat, and a rating for the game, and a link to the article that talks about this will be in the description down below. Speaking with IGN in a new interview, Yoshida provided some more insights into how combat, summons, and other mechanics will work in Final Fantasy 16. In the process, confirming that it will once again feature party mechanics in one form or another. So he said they didn't want to overwhelm users in their newest trailer, so they focused solely on Clive's battles. That said, for most of his journey, Clive will be accompanied by one or more companions. These companions will participate in battle as well as trade banter with Clive. The party members will be AI driven so as to allow players to focus solely on controlling Clive. Now going into Final Fantasy 16's combat and the summons, they brought up how Final Fantasy VII Remake would not exist without the original Final Fantasy VII, and those original systems ultimately influenced what Remake became. Final Fantasy 16, however, is a completely new game with a completely different concept. In order to take the series in a new direction rather than build off old battle systems, the director and battle director made real-time actions their focus. Translating traditional summon abilities into player actions and allow for the real-time swapping and chaining of these abilities in battle has allowed them to create a system that not only looks great, but feels really good to play. Eikons appear in many different situations and iterations. There is no one design concept that covers all of them. Some will face Clive as fierce enemies, some will be friends and come to Clive's aid. There will also be times where the player will control an Eikon in real time, battling other Eikons. The battle type and scale are somewhat fluid and change seamlessly in real time depending on the battle, keeping things at maximum excitement while maintaining immersion. These varied types of Eikon-driven action-oriented battles are one of the main selling points of Final Fantasy 16, and they'll be bringing more to you in the coming months about them. Another question was, there was implied nudity in the recent trailer. Is this a more adult M-rated Final Fantasy? The response was, so this is something you can say not just with the Final Fantasy series, but in general, compared to the past, video game ratings have become more and more restrictive recently regarding what can or cannot be shown. That said, he does believe that the ratings are very important to ensure that younger players and younger children are shielded from extreme material. But on the other hand, when trying to tell a story with difficult adult themes, these ratings can end up becoming somewhat of a hindrance, and you find yourself changing things that you wanted to do in the game based on that rating. You wanted to show something, but because you have a certain rating that you need to go to, you need to move the camera away, and that ends up making the entire experience feel a little bit cheaper. And so this time, to make sure that they could tell the story that they wanted in the way that they wanted to, they decided to pursue a mature rating in most of the regions that will be releasing the game. But again, this is not because they simply wanted to make the game more violent or the game more explicit. This is because they felt it was necessary to allow them to explore those more mature themes that the game tackles. I get it, this is the story and the theme that they're going with, and if they did have to take some stuff out of it, it would ruin the experience. Moving along to the open world part of the section, they found that in their extensive user research that many of the younger generation of gamers have never played a Final Fantasy game or don't have any interest in the series. To create a game that might excite and resonate not only with their core fans but also the new generation, they played a lot of games themselves, and so yes, in Final Fantasy 16, you'll find inspiration from recent AAA open world RPGs. I'm thinking of one, but I wonder what those RPG games could be. However, to bring a story that feels like it spans an entire globe and beyond, they decided to avoid an open world design that limits them to a single open world space, and instead focus on an independent area-based game design that can give players a better feel of a truly global scale. That is something that I'm seeing quite a few current games start to do, and not just do the open world thing, because there have been people online that have said they like open world games, but sometimes it can be a little bit too much. So it's nice to see the change up here and there. But y'all let me know in the comment section down below, what do you think about some of this information that was mentioned so far. Thank you all for watching this video. Here's some more gaming content. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe. Stay tuned for future gaming updates, and I'll see you all in the next video.